journey goers, welcome to our first ever yoga video on the blog. Craziness. So welcome to the Zen Den. This is where I will host you and we can practice together. So this first sequence is a beautiful, quick morning sequence just to awaken the soul, revitalize the joints, get the blood flowing, feel good, so you can have an amazing day ahead of you. Also, don't be fooled by the morning sequence part. You can do this any time of the day, whenever your heart desires. So with that said, let's get to it. Top of the mat. Take the feet hip-width distance, hands to hips. Just take a slight bend in the knees and soften the chest down towards the ground. Just starting out in a nice forward fold, so hands can just relax, head and neck, totally release it. Shake it yes, shake it no. Let it go. If you like to cup your elbows here, go for it. I'm not stopping you. Whatever you decide, I just want you to take 5 super big inhales and exhales. On your next inhale, lift the gaze. Fingertips come slightly in front of you and heel toe the feet together. Engage the low belly, drop the head and neck again, and slowly roll the body up. Stacking each vertebra, imagining your yoga zombie awakening from your yogic sleep. Roll the shoulders onto the back, Tadasana mountain pose. Take a few steps if you're not at the front of your mat. Come on up. Inhale the arms up overhead. Gaze at your fingertips. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees on the descent. Let it go. Inhale, lift halfway, hands to shins. Pull that heart through. Notice how I keep my knees bent. It's to let my low back just kind of relax. Pull that heart through. Let it go. Exhale. Ground down through the feet, bend the knees, inhale all the way up, arms sweep, palms touch. Take it right back down, forward fold, top of the mat, Uttanasana, let it go. Inhale, lift halfway, roll the shoulders, and maybe straighten the legs a little bit. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, palms out, touch, gaze at fingertips, let it go. Last time, forward fold, maybe you keep the legs straight on the descent. Inhale up, heart goes through, flat back, belly in, exhale, fold. And take it back to downward facing dog. So plant the hands, step each foot back. Find your Adho Mukha Svanasana. So we just woke up, right? Everything is like, what? Why are we moving? So walk that dog out. Start to pedal the feet. Maybe you take your feet as wide as your mat. Let the hamstrings soften into the pose. Just take a few moments here to move around in your dog. There's no rules here. I like to come up onto the toes and roll the toes. Whatever's feeling good for you. Find 3 more breaths in whatever you're doing. Next inhale, gaze forward, soften the knees down towards the mat. Moving into downward facing dog, so take tabletop position. Spread the fingertips wide, stack the shoulders right over, or the shoulders under, shoulders over the wrists. Knees underneath the hips. On an inhale breath, drop the belly, roll the shoulders back. Exhale, reverse your movement. So tailbone drops, back rounds, head and neck release. Inhale, open up the front side body. Exhale, reverse the movements round the back side body. Move through 3 more of these. Feel free to close your eyes. Last one, big inhale, open the front side body. Exhale, round. Coming back to neutral tabletop and moving into a thread the needle pose. So right hand comes to the middle of the mat. Inhale the left arm high, reach through the fingertips, open through the chest. Exhale, thread it through. So left hand, left shoulder, left ear coming down. You can prop up onto your right fingertips, or if you're ready, you can wrap and bind. Hold for 3 breaths. If you're bound, let it go. Ground down through the right hand. Push up and inhale that left arm high. Let it go, neutral tabletop. Immediately other side. Left hand plants, inhale the right arm high. Open, open. Exhale, thread it through. Right hand, right shoulder, right ear, coming down. And then your choice, you prop up or you can go for that bind. Take 3 deep breaths. If you're bound, let it go. Ground down through the left hand. Come on up. Reach that right arm high. And find your neutral tabletop. Curl the back toes under. Spread the fingers nice and wide. Downward facing dog. Start to build some heat. So inhale, roll the body forward. Find plank pose. Exhale, take the hips back and high. Downward facing dog. Inhale, roll the body forward. We'll keep moving through this movement. Exhale it back, downward facing dog. Inhale, roll forward. Exhale, send the hips back and high. 2 more times. Inhale, rock it forward. Plank pose. Exhale it back, downward facing dog. Last time, inhale it forward. Except this time, let's hold and breathe it out. 5 deep breaths. I want you to activate the entire arm. Hug everything into the midline. Engage those legs. And breathe. Last inhale. Exhale, soften the knees down to the mat. Inhale to rock forward. Exhale, lower for 5. Keep the elbows in. 4, 3, 2, let it go. 1. Lay all the way down the mat. Cross your right ankle over your left. Interlace both hands behind the back. And on an inhale, come on up. Roll those shoulders onto the back. Squeeze legs into one another. Hug low belly in. 2 more breaths. Let it go. Exhale. Other side. Left ankle over right. I want you to cross your fingers a funny way. So funny pinky on top. On an inhale breath, come on up. So the key to this pose is thinking about length versus height. So how long can you get the body versus how high. So think length. 2 more deep breaths. Let it go, exhale. Hands by the low ribs, curl the back toes under. Firm up the body, push up, plank pose, downward facing dog. Roll it back, inhale, plank pose, and again we lower for 5. Maybe you don't drop the knees. Here we go. Inhale, breath. We lower for 5, 4, hug the elbows in, 3, firm the body, 2, let it go, 1. Whew. Okay, hands to low ribs, setting up for Bhujangasana, Cobra Pose, toenails down, roll the shoulders to start. On an inhale breath, push into your hands, lift the chest. Last inhale, soften, exhale. This time, tent up onto your fingertips. Take them about 6 inches out and 6 inches up. Again, roll the shoulders to prepare, and then inhale, come up halfway. I want you to imagine you're pulling your belly button towards the front of your mat here. One more breath. Let it go, exhale. This time feel free to come all the way up if you want. So again, prepare, roll the shoulders back. Inhale, come up. Again, pulling the belly button through, tractioning the chest open, rolling the shoulders back. One more breath. Let it go, exhale. Hands by the low ribs, curl those back toes under, firm up the body, push up, plank pose, downward facing dog. So this time from downward facing dog, I want you to plant the left hand directly in front of the face, and then weave the right hand through, clasp the outside of your left ankle. You might want to walk it in for this one. You can clasp the outside of your shin or that ankle. Once you get hold of it, then make this connection so that you can pull the chest through. Look up towards that left armpit and breathe. Last inhale. Let it go. Exhale, other side. Right hand comes underneath the face. Weave the left hand to the outside of the right calf or shin. Send the right hip back and then open through the chest. Gaze up towards the right armpit. 2 deep breaths. Let it go. Come back to downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg back behind you. And exhale, just step it through. Soften the left knee down, coming into a low lunge. Untitled. Fancy word, I know. I'll try my best to use Sanskrit as well as the English terms for you guys, okay? So Untitled, low lunge. Definitely the left hip flexor is starting to wake up, so let's be kind to ourselves. Hands can come to the top of the thigh here. You can also keep them down. Let's just hold here for 5 deep breaths. Breathing into the left leg, finding length through the crown of the head. Last inhale. Exhale. Bring both hands down to frame the front foot. And I want you to straighten the front leg as you send the hips back. You might need to walk the right toes forward for half splits, Ardha Hanumanasana. Make sure you flex through the top of the right foot. And then think long, flat back here. Do your best to square the hips and breathe into that right hamstring. 3 deep breaths. And then let's flow back and forth through those two movements. So inhale to bring the chest forward, low lunge. Exhale it back, half splits. You'll have to kind of play with the movement and placement of the body and the foot. So inhale it forward. Exhale it back. Inhale it forward. Exhale it back. This time, inhale it forward, coming into lizard pose. So bring both hands inside the right foot, and you want to heel toe the right foot to the outer edge of the mat. You want the toes out and the heels in, and then pick up the left knee, and then walk that back too, creating space. So it's the morning. I'm not expecting you to take a full lizard pose. So staying up here on the hands is definitely acceptable and what I recommend. Take 3 deep breaths. Again, try and keep the length in the back. You might even want to tent up onto the fingertips to find more. And then stay here or move into a quad stretch. So the left hand plants, you bend the back left leg, reach back with the right hand, and just gently, ever so softly, you're going to bring the heel towards the bum. And this is enough for me right now, right here. If you're here, take 3 deep breaths. If you're still in lizard, just hang out. Keep breathing. Softly let that back leg go. If you took that expression, bring the right hand back inside the leg. Curl the back toes, come up, and send the right leg back. Downward facing dog. Let's take a big inhale breath. Let it go. Exhale. One more time. Big inhale. From here, let's inhale the left leg back and long, and exhale, step it up. Soften the right knee down, repeating everything on the other side. So taking Anjaneyasana on this side. I like to bring my hands to the top of the thigh like before. Find some nice length through the crown of the head and soften into the right side. Take 5 deep breaths. Bring both hands to frame that front foot. And then begin to straighten the front leg, sending the hips back over the heels. Half splits, Ardha Hanumanasana. Again, I want you to think flat, long back. Flex through the left foot. 3 deep breaths. Breathe into the hamstring. On the next inhale, come back in that low lunge. Exhale back, half splits. Inhale, rock it forward. Open that heart, roll shoulders back. Exhale, take it back, half splits. Inhale, come forward, low lunge. This time both hands to the inside, preparing for lizard pose. Heel toe the foot out. Again, pick the right knee up and then slide the leg back and set it down. And I'm going to stay up on my forearms just like before. Take 3 deep breaths. And if you want to come with me into that quad stretch, plant the right hand, firm it up, bend the back leg, reach back with the left hand, clasp around the foot, and then soften down as you ever so gently pull that heel towards your bum. 3 deep breaths. Let it go, no slingshot, so soften it down. Both hands inside the left leg. Curl the back toes under, pick up the knee, and then send the left leg back, downward facing dog. Next inhale, the right leg comes back and high. Exhale, round the back, use the core. Step the foot and come all the way up to crescent pose, hands on hips. So that back leg is super strong and active. The knee is stacking over the ankle. We're lifting through the crown of the head, broadening through the sternum, finding length, as well as creating space. Take 3 huge breaths. Next inhale, I want you to bring the hands out to goalpost arms. Find your drishti point. Take a bend in the back leg. Come on up. Dancing Shiva pose. So this leg, the foot is flexed and we're keeping it in line. You're going to square the hips off. So I need to drop my hip in order to square it. Engage the fingers. Roll the shoulders back. Open through the chest. 2 breaths. Again, hands to hips. This time just kick the left leg straight out. Stand up nice and tall. Hug that low belly in. 3 deep breaths. Last breath, a little bit higher. Exhale, cross the left ankle over top of the right knee. And then just bring the hands down to the mat in front of you for figure 4. But what I really want you to focus on is stretching into our piriformis. This is a huge ball buster for me if I'm going to be authentic and real. I have a lot of issues with my piriformis, so anything I can do to stretch it. And if you have blocks nearby, I also recommend bringing them here to support you and really just focus on breathing into this deep, deep muscle in your left buttock. So 3 deep breaths here. If you grab those blocks, just set them outside the mat. Hands come down, let the feet go. Forward fold, shake it out. And then plant the hands. Feel free to vinyasa. I will just step back to downward facing dog and meet you there. Inhale the left leg high this time. Exhale, knee to nose, round, round, round. Use the core, plant the foot. Rise on up, crescent pose, high lunge, hands to hips. Again, back leg super strong and active for us. Knee over the ankle, sternum lifting, shoulders rolling, crown of the head, energy going through. 3 deep breaths. Inhale those arms out to the goalpost. Find that drishti point, bend in the knee, come on up. You can slide, 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 slide. Knee in towards the chest. Flex through the foot, square the hips off. Hands to hips, and then kick that right leg out. Staff pose. 3 deep breaths. Standing leg is strong and active, working for you. Flex, 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 roll shoulders. 2 more breaths. Last breath, pick it up higher. And then cross that right ankle right above the left knee. Hands melt down towards the mat. And then grab those blocks if you were using them before. I'm going to hop it back so I'm out of the sun. I want you to make sure you're flexing through this foot. And again, sending the energy to that deep muscle inside your right buttock. And then sit it low and breathe it out. 3 deep breaths. Take those blocks, set them outside the mat. Hands to the ground, let it go, forward fold. Shake it out for just a moment. Inhale, lift halfway, pull that heart through, flat back. Exhale, step back, downward facing dog. You can also vinyasa there if you want. 2 deep breaths here. This downward facing dog should feel totally different from when we started. More open, more length, expansion, space, softer. Everything should just feel a lot more, I'm just going to use the word again, open. And then soften those knees down. Find seated pose at the top of your mat. Rounding out our practice with some twists. So let's just inhale the arms up towards the sky, gaze at fingertips. Exhale, twist to the right. Right hand goes back, left hand to knee. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, twist to the right. This time I want you to hold. Inhale to really grow tall through the crown of the head. Exhale, create space. So when I say create space, I don't mean yank the body. I just want you to soften into the space that you've opened in your body. Again, inhale, lift. Exhale, gaze out over that right shoulder. One more breath. Exhale, come back through center. Inhale the arms high. Take it over to the left and we'll hold. Grow tall with the inhale. Melt into the space on the exhale. 2 more breaths. Inhale back to center. And then let's just forward fold for a moment here. So you might need to prop a blanket under you, but I just want you to finger walk your way down. So just melting the chest down and just relax. Head releases to the forehead, releases to the mat. Let the body soften here. Inhale to lift the gaze, walk the hands back in. And we'll just close with a simple breathing exercise and a little bit of a seated meditation to set an intention for the amazing day ahead of us. So I'm going to take lotus pose. You absolutely don't need to take that. You could take Ardha Padmasana or Sukhasana. Sukhasana is just stacking the heels in front of the groin. Also, if you want a blanket or a block to prop yourself up on, that is extra helpful. So I take that back. I'm not going to take lotus pose. I'm going to take Sukhasana with you, sitting on top of a block to prop myself up, which tilts the pelvis forward, the pelvis forward, and lengthens the spine for you. So hands to your thighs or your knees, sit up nice and tall. And let's begin. Inhale for a count of 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Continue that breathing pattern, inhaling and exhaling. You can increase the length of inhale time or decrease as needed. Stay here for as long as you'd like to finish your practice. Make sure that you set a quick intention for the day ahead, something filled with positivity and passion. And thank you so much for joining me on the mat this morning. I wholeheartedly loved having you here. Have a beautiful day ahead of you. Namaste.